So here I have way too much water. I'm almost full here, and not enough angle. When you drop your dirt in here, it kind of sets here, and you keep watching it. It slowly starts to get past here. It very slowly creeps onto here. But it's going to take probably 2 or 3 minutes to get through here, and it may never clear up between the riffles. Here we have a pretty good speed of flow, so it actually is flowing through here pretty well. But it's just not carrying the dirt along with it because there's not enough drop, and because there's not enough turbulence because there's too much water. You need the water to be able to come up here, go up, go up, go up, go up. If you have so much water flowing up past here, it just makes it all a flat layer. It doesn't work as well. But now watch as I lift up this sluice in the same position. Now watch it start to clear. See the dirt just going out of there? So it's very quickly catching up with what you did before. So that's one major problem. The other major problem is if you have your top out of the water, you have your slope right, but your bottom is buried in the water. So here I have the top coming in right, but the bottom's under a full amount of water. Now this is a common problem when you don't have much drop, because you're trying to get the drop for the sluice, but you wind up burying the bottom end under 4 inches of water. And what will happen is, your top will run great. Your first riffle will clear. Second riffle may be clear. But as you go down farther, you're going to wind up with less and less clearing. And eventually you wind up with about 2.5 inches of dirt under the bottom, gradually leveling out up to about here where the level drops below what it should be. So see, this isn't clearing very well. This is clearing less, and down here you won't have any clearing at all. I can run this whole bucket through there, and most of it's going to stay in the sluice because there's just not enough current. So it comes through here at X pressure. By the time it gets to here, there's twice as much depth, which means the pressure has been cut in half. Twice as much depth from there to there, which means the pressure has been cut in half again. So the water comes in here really fast, but it comes out really slowly. And so you're losing your speed as you go along because it's getting deeper. So you need to keep that full. And that's why I said having it out here like I had a minute ago, that was perfect. Most sluices sold out there range between 7 and 10 inches, all of which will fit inside of a 5-gallon bucket. So take a 5-gallon bucket. While it's still running, I like to do it this way. Pick up the bottom end, pour it right into the bucket, pick it up, and dump. That way you have no chance of losing anything when you move it around. Wash the bottom nicely like that. This is to get your clamp here. Each kind has a different way of clamping it together. This one you have to squeeze it down and pull like that. And then this end comes up. Now inside this sluice you have 3 layers. You've got your banded metal, this stuff here. Dip that, dip it again, and that's clean. Set it aside. Now you've got your miner's moss here. That's this blue fabric. Roll it up and drop it in your bucket. Now ordinarily this would be one piece, but in this particular sluice they used some recycled matting so they didn't have a full piece all the way across there. Then you've got your ribbed carpet. Roll it up, drop it in there as well, and set this back in there. If you're doing this in your house, you can use a water hose. But out here, this is my favorite way of doing it. Now you pull this back down so you can rinse it really well. Now, your assay mat can sometimes catch pieces of gold that won't come out. So you need to look at them. If you do have any, hold it upside down, tilt it at an angle like this, and throw your water on one side. And that'll make the gold fall this way and then run out on the edge. Now your sluice itself is clean. So you set it aside. Take your carpet, shake it like this really well. You see the ribs in here run this way. And so you need to take this, turn it outside, upside down like that, and run like this. And that way you're expanding the edges that caught the gold, and so it's more likely to fall out of here. Go back and forth like that. Except that you're never going to get all the gold out of here. But also know that it's not going to go anywhere, so down the road if you ever get out of gold you can always burn your carpet here and pan the ashes and collect the gold out of that. Meanwhile, same thing goes for the miner's moss. Shake it around really good. Try to get all the rocks and gold pieces out of it. Casually inspect to make sure no nuggets got stuck in the top. No such luck. You can see how a lot of stuff got caught in here. Put it back together. And finally put the screen in. So on the screen, the expanded metal, you're going to notice that it bends down, each one of these diamonds. They're pointed so that they're shaped like this. You turn it upside down, the water will be coming in and digging out at each of these pockets. Turn it like this, then it's going to create a little eddy behind each one of these pockets which is going to catch gold. So you always want your metal to be pointing downstream so that these ridges point up, like that. So as soon as you have it pointed the right way, set it back in here, clamp this back down, and snap it in place, and you're ready to go. And now we're going to pan out our concentrates that we have in here that we got out of our sluice. So this is a bucket of concentrates we got out of our sluice. Make sure the sides are clean, swish it around, and just pour it into your pan on a stable surface. Now, once you get it to this point, this is a nice little trick. Rather than going and trying to fill it with water and rinsing it out again, and so on, pour it so it's at an angle, like this, into your pan, and then scrape it, and just swish some water in there. Try not to get dirt in when you go. And that'll wash all the dirt out of the bottom, and you get 100% clean with practically no effort. Set this aside. Now this is concentrates. This is going to be panned basically the same way I taught you earlier, but there are a few things that are different about it, so we're going to devote a whole segment to concentrates later. For right now, if you haven't watched that video yet, just go ahead and pan it like you did before, and it'll work out just like that. But there are some tricks that you can learn too that'll make it go faster, so we'll work on those later. Some things about that sluice that we just used. It's a good sluice. Most people use it. It's the most popular kind out there. But there are some things about it that are a little bit of a pain. For one thing, the cleaning process is several steps. You've got to wash a bunch of different things, keep them from falling over, keep them from running down the river while you're using them, and so on. When you're done with that sluice, you'll have about this much dirt left. This is about an inch in the bottom of the pan, up to this big riffle here. That can be improved on by other varieties of sluices. So there's a lot of different styles out there, and I picked one that I like a whole lot better than that one because it's a lot easier to clean, a lot easier to use, and it's more flexible as far as how much angle you can have and how much flow you can handle. It'll clear faster and so on. And that's a hog matting, and I'll show you that sluice now.